Okay, on today's video, I am going to cover Spanish-speaking campaigns and how those can actually be able to increase the profitability of anything you're running in English in the USA market, which this video is predicated around campaigns, and the results that I'm quoting for you here are predicated on running a campaign from the US for most markets out there, most niches. Or you can get a 300% increase in your ROI as well just by running the Spanish version of your campaign versus your English, or to compare the difference between Spanish versus English, at least doing it the way I'm going to announce to you on this video today. It'll get you 3 times difference the ROI or profit on your campaigns that an English campaign will. So of course you can take it 2 ways. If you're not getting the return you want today out of an English campaign and you're stuck, try running it in Spanish. You might be able to make basically a third of the money, but at a much higher ROI. Or if you're making money with your English campaigns, this can get you about 30-40% more revenue and profit, and more profit, 35% or so more profit on your campaigns, not revenue itself. So just to clarify there. Anyway, on this video, I'm going to go through, as usual, a whole kind of list of things that are going to talk about all the background behind Spanish campaigns, why the strategies are laid out the way they are, how these things kind of work, and how to do it for yourself, of course, what kind of results you can expect, and some tips, things to do, things not to do with your if you want to run Spanish campaigns for your brand. So the very first thing today I want to cover is what most people think about when possibly running a campaign for a Hispanic audience. So what that is, 90% of people, they're running a campaign in English, they'll go into the campaign settings on Google and click Spanish, and they're done. I can tell you right there that basically gets you almost nothing. So don't consider that quote unquote good enough. So a lot of people will then do Spanish, but they won't have a specific Spanish strategy, which that strategy should be singled out from your English strategy to get by far the most out of it. They also may do maybe one or even 2 of the things that I'm mentioning here today, but there's actually a total of 4 things you can actually do to get more revenue and profit out of your English campaigns that you're running for your business. In order to get basically the Spanish going at full rate for you as well. So with that said, I'm going to go through the strategy I use. I've learned over the last 5 campaigns or so from the Spanish campaign angle, running a campaign for a Hispanic audience, kind of how this works in the legal space and some other spaces as well. So how that actually is done, how to get the full 35% increase in profit on top of what you're making right now from your English campaigns. All that's laid out here and going to be laid out here for you next. So here's the key strategies you should try to use so you can have max penetration overall from the Spanish version of your campaign that you're about to set up and run for your business. Separated out, of course, meaning you're just going to have your Spanish campaign. It's going to be by itself, and it's going to do nothing but get as much of the Hispanic audience that is in demand or is possibly searching in your market as possible, and do way better job that pretty much everybody just wants to come to you that speaks Spanish or wants to deal with somebody who is Hispanic themselves. So anyway, the first thing is the obvious thing, start out making your campaigns in English. Keywords, ads, landing pages, if you haven't done it already. Even if you're not going to use any campaigns in English, you'll do that anyway. That's the first starting step you have to go through, even if you don't intend on using it. If you can't get the English campaign to work, by the way, you should check out my other videos because there's enough strategies there to be able to make pretty much anything work. That said, once you've gotten the English campaign set up, then you're going to translate all of it into Spanish. The keywords, the ads, and the landing page with that. And that again, it's going to be a mirror of your English campaign. So you'll have your Spanish campaign and your English campaign after all this. Next, you're going to take all your keywords, and then you're going to go and search for a keyword permutation generator, which is going to be able to take all the keywords in English you have, put Spanish speaking or some equivalent of that before and after those keywords, and then what you're going to do is do what I do and go into your account and set up a test campaign. What that test campaign will do after it's been activated with your keywords, all your permutations, which is your variants that added to the before or after your English keywords, it'll tell you which of those variants that you found are eligible to actually run and have enough search volume to actually run. Once you found them, then you can build your campaign out. The reason why you check for eligibility first on the keywords is because you don't want to waste time writing ads for every keyword, which if you watch my other videos, you'll get about twice as much out of your campaigns if you do that. So just a little hack that I have for finding which keywords are actually eligible when you're trying for lots of long tail keywords like that for your business. So that helps. And by the way, this is actually the first strategy, just translating everything into Spanish will get you about 20% more profit from your campaigns by itself. Adding Spanish speaking or an equivalent before and after the keywords, whatever is eligible, will get you about another 10%. Next, the final thing is, which will get you about another 5% in profit. You're going to search for like the Spanish speaking strategy I just gave you here, you're going to use the words Hispanic or equivalent, and then your keywords. So, like Hispanic and immigration lawyer, or Hispanic family lawyer, that type of thing. So you're going to have your English keyword, you're going to find, so in other words, people are looking for Hispanic. So that's I'll just call it, funny enough, this is just a joke, semi-racist user. So somebody who is Spanish, who's looking for somebody that serves in that serves their market, catering to not only people that are Hispanic, which actually could be one way of saying it, but that are actually Hispanic themselves because they want to deal with another Hispanic and only another Hispanic. So those are the three things you do. Now here's some extra credit, some extra tips to be able to get this 35% out of your campaigns every time. The first thing is, do not use Google Translate. You're going to hire an actual English to Spanish translator, and then that person's going to translate all your ads, your keywords, and your landing pages all by hand. If you use the Google Translate, people are going to notice that the translation isn't perfect, and it's going to kill a lot of trust. People have to think, why is this not translated right? They're going to think, oh, well, they don't really serve Hispanics, they just say they do. Of course, it takes time to think about something if it's not written right, which is another half of why that'll hurt the 35% increase in profit you can get from all this stuff, which is predicated on hand translating everything versus using Google Translate. So with that said, no Google Translate. Next, why Spanish campaign setting is off. So on this particular campaign here, where on the first part in specific, that gets you 20% more profit, where you translate all the keywords, ads, and landing pages into actual Spanish, you are going to put into the campaign settings, that it's a Spanish campaign, because Google can use all the data they have about all their users that they then, if somebody has an app that caters to the Hispanic audience, they'll buy that data from that app, and then therefore they know how to link that with their users to know who pretty much prefers Spanish and who doesn't. So if you mark that campaign in Spanish, it'll start to send those people who want the Spanish translation to your campaign automatically. Whereas if you try to do that little checkbox on an English campaign, it'll try to translate the ads and so on and so forth using Google Translate, and it doesn't work nearly as good as you think. It'll get you maybe a little bit, but for the most part, it's inefficient, and it's nowhere near like hand translating all of it. So that's why you're going to keep the setting on it'll be on unless you do not actually have a Spanish separate campaign just for Spanish, okay? Otherwise, it just doesn't work, in other words. So the last thing is you want a picture showing of who the user will talk to after they call. So you got a Hispanic person reading your landing page. They think, oh, this is great. I know exactly what they do. I trust them. I want to call now. Have a picture of a Hispanic person that looks like they'll actually answer the phone or actually do the service. That'll help you even more. That'll be actually on top of your 35% you can get even without using that. But if you can do that, do it. If you have to go hire a photographer for this, do it. You'll get even more. And for the cost of that, obviously, why not do it? But that's actually your kind of your fourth strategy out of the 3 plus the pictures, where you can get, basically more profit out of your market from the section of your market who is Hispanic or wants to deal with somebody who's Hispanic, or just deal with somebody who will translate everything into Spanish for them. Believe it or not, 13% of the US market, and I found this through Google, I hardly could believe it, have Spanish, say that Spanish is their first language. So that's actually, if you're questioning how you're going to get 35% more profit out of your market doing these strategies, well, they're done. These are strategies only 1% of people are going to worry about, or less. I know because I look at lots and lots of people's campaigns. But then 13% of people actually prefer Spanish. So, and then with that, 13% might prefer Spanish, but on top of that, of course, the ROI and anything from Spanish, because nobody else wastes their time doing this, but should not, so it's not a waste of time, is 3 times the average ROI. So that's why you're going to get 35% more profit doing these strategies the right way for your business and not skipping out on them, which 90+% of people are going to skip out on, and only 1% or less is actually going to go all the way with, like I have mentioned here, for their brand. And you can, because you know how much of results it's going to make for your business, given that I've tried this out for myself, know how much it works, and distilled the strategy down for you so you can enjoy these gains for your business as well. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have a lot of other videos just like this on this channel. PPC money-making strategies, stuff that I use every day on our clients' campaigns. If you want step-by-step instructions on how to build PPC campaigns, you can find those on my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog. And if you prefer your information on how to build campaigns that way, same quality of information. Of course, beyond that, if you have any questions about Spanish-speaking campaigns that I did not cover today, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I will get back to you. I always get back to my commenters and answer any questions or concerns about anything that I didn't cover here today about this particular topic. But I hope you enjoyed the information. You got some value out of it, and you feel encouraged now to go out and put an actual separate Spanish PPC campaign together for your business, knowing how good it works now, and probably now motivated to go out and actually do it.